Select the one to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Pick and choose the right one. Get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Select the one to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Yes, sir. Pick and choose the right one. Get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're tuned into another episode of Non Bae Says. I am your host with the most, P. Giovanni, aka PG13, your favorite non bae. And thank you once again for sitting down here and rocking with me for another episode of Non Bae Says. Now, in this new episode, it's the 5th episode of the 2nd season. And what I wanted to do was, from now going on forward, every 5th episode of every season is going to be a versus battle of sorts. So moving right along, today we start our first reoccurring versus battle theme episode, and this shall complete the holy trinity of special episodes that happen in a season, with one special episode happening on the 5th episode, the second happening on the 10th episode, and the last one happening on the 13th episode, which would be the last episode of each and every season. So without further ado, let's get on with today's battle. Today's battle is New Year's versus the Christmas season. So we're gonna pit the New Year's season head to head with the Christmas season battle, as you can see from the title here, and we're gonna just list off some of the things that make each season special inside a 3-round category battle. So I'll just mention one season, list off some stuff about it underneath that category, mention the next season, list off some stuff about it in that category, and then we will pick a winner for the round, and then we'll do this for 3 rounds. This will be the format more or less for each and every one of these episodes moving forward from here on out. So without further ado, let's start with round 1, celebrations.
Round 1, fight!
So when we look at New Year's, the celebrations that we have during the New Year's is, the countdown and the dropping of the ball. 2 typical staple things that happen each and every year. And it's a big hoo-ha and hooray and hoorah to do each and every year. It's something that people always look forward to. It's a big spectacle that we put on each and every year, although unfortunately in the last 2 years or so, it hasn't been as big on a grand scale as it used to be in the past months, obviously because of the pandemic that we're in. But hopefully, this year they had a little bit more people out to speculate, and it was a little bit more of a big event now. And hopefully now, going and moving forward in the years to come, it will be just as big as it was in the past. And definitely another thing that we have on New Year's and in New Year's celebrations is fireworks. It always makes sense to go someplace high or someplace really visible where you could just see fireworks. Like a bunch of hotels let fireworks off, a bunch of parties let fireworks off, a bunch of central stations and a bunch of governments or whatnot just let all these fireworks off. So you can always be able to find some fireworks on New Year's night, or at least New Year's morning, because we stay up for 12 a.m. to bring in the New Year. So you ain't gonna be too hard pressed to find some fireworks, which is a nice spectacle that we also have. Next, in New Year's, we have reflection programs, people making New Year's resolutions. We have top 10, top 100 lists online and on television and stuff like that, although not much people watch television anymore like that. But, like I say, people have reflection programs. YouTube used to have the YouTube Rewind, although they have stopped that format since. BET, when it used to be popular, used to have the notarized 100 list, which is the top 100 videos of the year. And then people just in general just do a bunch of reflection videos on YouTube, how their year was and what was the highs, the lows. Some news stations, they have year in review, so they go through the highs and the lows and some of the most drastic and sentimental news stories and whatever you may have, So yeah, it's a big build up, and it's a big reflection period and a reflection time by the time the New Year's come. Next is the big, massive gatherings and the parties that we have during the New Year's celebration, which is held literally worldwide. The thing about New Year's is, or the New Year's season is, literally the whole world has to celebrate the New Year's. At one point in time, it will be a new year everywhere in the world, and everybody now follows the typical weekly day calendar. So now that we're in the year 2022, everybody goes into 2023 next year, and so on. And so has it been for the past 2022 years, obviously. So moving right along into this first category of celebrations, we go over to the Christmas season, which is the big thing that we do during that season, the gift sharing and the gift openings. So yeah, typically it's commonplace to go and buy your loved ones and your friends gifts that they may want, or gifts that you think that they would be interested in. Give it to them either prior to or on the day of Christmas, and everybody sits around the Christmas tree decorated with all the decorations, and we open our gifts and we get excited about what we got. Hopefully we got something that we asked for. If we got something by surprise, we are totally surprised by it. If we got something that we didn't ask for and something that we don't like, we just try to hide our feelings about said item. And then the next thing on the list for Christmas is family dinners. Small gatherings or large gatherings, depending on how big your family is and who all you want at your family gathering or in a family dinner. Sit around the table, go over to somebody's house and make a bunch of food for a dinner, and everybody just sits around and be merry and has fun, cracking jokes, telling stories, sharing presents, opening presents, whatever families do at their respective family dinners. And it's definitely something that is looked towards or look forward to during the Christmas season, one of the higher points in Christmas. And then at these families dinners, usually the NBA plays a Christmas game or two or three, and some people definitely just look forward to having a sport happen on Christmas Day. And the NBA is one of the prime sports that you could look forward to, with high professional league playing basketball during that day. Now, sometimes, depending on when Christmas falls, you may even have another sport such as football, which we had last Christmas going on, that football and the NBA was on. So sometimes that's just a double treat for some people. You're a sports fanatic in the family to watch two professional sport games played on Christmas. And then definitely some people, do the normal caroling, going from house to house and making visits and whatnot and stuff like that. That's one of the spirit things in Christmas. So now that we finished round one, we're gonna say who is the winner, in my opinion. And just a disclaimer here, I'll say this at the end also. All of this is almost just opinionated. This is just like a small format showing you guys exactly how these shows are gonna go. So this isn't nothing really in-depth or drastic. This is something really fun, me getting off and giving some pros and cons and points about each season for this episode or whatever. So it's nothing in depth, no deep research, all subjective, honestly. You may agree with some of the things, you may not, but it doesn't matter. It's just for fun. Winner of round one, I gotta cash it out to New Year's, because literally New Year's being a spectacle for the entire world to enjoy and just the hype towards it. It literally has a countdown to the day, and then the season is just a nice, good, warm feeling, which I'll get into later down in this episode. So, round two, buzz and the hype.
Round two, fight!
So, in the New Year's category, once again, the entire world goes through the motion of New Year's. I don't know what could beat that when the entire world recognizes the holiday. You can't get more drastic than that. Alright? And essentially, New Year's has a year's worth of build up. Although we don't really observe it all year, or being even cognizant of, New Year's coming around like January 2nd, January 3rd, 4th, 5th. Like from as early as that, it's pretty much out of our heads to really be thinking about, well, New Year, January 1st or whatever. But sometimes during the year, some people do get New Year fever, waiting on the New Year and stuff like that, and definitely coming down to the end of the year. I would say from about September going into October and stuff like that, when the year starts to wind down, people are already in the spirits of having that New Year season celebration and being in those feelings of, just going into a new year, starting the news, turning a new leaf, or whatever they want to work towards and stuff like that. So some people already be in the mind frame from the year before, far into the next year, which is a good thing. But with the New Year's, the steam and the buzz basically dies out rather quickly, usually in about 2 weeks, which I was mentioning earlier. Like, it's all fine and dandy for the first 2 weeks of January, but by that time you done forgot about it. You may see somebody like in the third week, fourth week of January, maybe the first week or mid-February you haven't seen for the entire New Year, and it's still feasible to, hey, how you doing? Happy New Year. Yeah, man. And all of that good stuff or whatever. But I mean, typically when you're getting into like the second week in February and stuff like that, you pass the time where you could be wishing people a happy New Year, even if you haven't seen them yet or whatever. It's already fizzled out. We're kind of in the year already. We kind of already celebrated that new turn and that new leaf, and you should be already rolling by that time. And then you just have people making, their regular resolutions and going to the gym and starting to try to be a new person, new year, new me, the typical hippity hoopla, all of that stuff or whatever, So in terms of this round, which is the buzz and hype, well, hold on, wait, sorry. I forgot I didn't go with the Christmas side of things. So when we look at Christmas is widely celebrated around the world too. Not literally by everybody in the world like New Year's, but it has a very mass following. So that's definitely one good thing about it, And then the anticipation is built up for the last half of the year for Christmas. Literally, some people start playing Christmas music from July straight into August, September, October, November, and then we just crank it up to the max at dial number 12 for December. Whip out the Mariah Carey albums because it's gonna get heavy and people get annoyed with so much Mariah Carey playing, but I'm here for all of it, honestly. So the buzz, it really stays, and it's definitely the strongest from within Thanksgiving period straight up until Christmas Day. So like right after Thanksgiving, you definitely, people already jump over Thanksgiving sometimes and already in the Christmas scare and have trees up in November and decorations up in November. But definitely after Thanksgiving, you're in a safe space to start once again whipping out that Mariah Carey with the wreaths and the trees and stuff and the decorations and all of the scented candles and all the good bells and whistles that come with the Christmas season and the Christmas spirit. So yeah, people definitely are really hyped about the Christmas season. And then, you have the couples wearing pajamas and holiday clothing, people liking the elf hats, the Santa Claus hats, dressing up as Santa Claus and stuff like that. That's a big factor there too for Christmas inside of the hype, Saint Nick himself. Children going to sit on his lap and take a picture with Santa Claus. People role playing and cosplaying as Santa Claus themselves or elf or whatever may have you. All of the little trinkets and all of the goofy characters such as Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph and the other reindeers and stuff like that. So it definitely has a very, very high commercial value to it that gets people very much so excited. And like I mentioned, the decorations, the wreaths, the trees and stuff like that. And then unfortunately, the buzz dies down immediately after Christmas Day too. The void begins immediately after Christmas. That weekend between Christmas and then New Year's Day happening, serious void. Sometimes you don't even know what day of the month it is. You don't know what's happening. You just lose track of time easily in that week. So that buzz immediately dies down. But anyway, as for round 2, as we're done with both sides of the spectrum, in terms of the buzz and the hype surrounded by each holiday season, we give round 2 to Christmas. So we're evenly tied at 1 now. And here we go with the final round. A very simplistic round. Round 3, holidays.
Round 3. Fight!
Just what holidays does each month have? How many holidays does each month have? Well, we all definitely know in January and in the New Year's spirit of things, the holidays we both celebrate is New Year's Day and Martin Luther King and / Majority Rule Day from where I'm from. So with January, with 2 holidays to look forward to, people really be liking that, and they come pretty close. They come in like the first 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks in January. So it's like not necessarily a back-to-back holiday, but hey, you come off all of that New Year's hype and then you stay in the hype and you get to have another holiday. So people definitely be enjoying that, And when it comes down to the Christmas season, well, obviously, the main holiday there is Christmas Day. And in some parts of the world, technically, some people celebrate Boxing Day. So Christmas does have 2 days also, but it's not like a vast celebration, which could be the same said for January. But at the end of the day, with 2 apiece and the significance of both the holidays, Christmas is the established observed day for Jesus' birthday, and then, well, there's a backstory to Boxing Day that I won't get into. But the weight of each holiday, definitely round 3 goes to New Year's. And with that being said, the winner of this first versus challenge on the Non Bae channel is New Year's with a total of 2-1. And I mean, when you're looking towards the New Year's season, it's just something to look more forward to. And it's most definitely celebrated worldwide. That's the main factor. Everybody is wilding during the New Year period. Everybody hype and everybody ready to celebrate, even though it don't have no special clothing or no special actual like trinkets and stuff like that, it's a fresh sense of a new start, strong sense of celebration. Everybody almost basically in unison, obviously not in complete unison because places in the world such as Japan and China celebrate the New Year earlier than us over here on the West Coast. Everywhere on the East Coast celebrates New Year's quicker than the West Coast, but it's a period of definitely unity. Everybody coming together to observe, hey, it's a new year. We're going to have new struggles. We can have new highs. We can have new lows. Let's see what the year holds for us, and let's see what all events happen in the world this year. The marking of an actual new year, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. If you didn't notice from 2020, you definitely should know now. 2020 was like, man, it was definitely showing off what a new year means, what weight a new year carries. So, well, without further ado, that has been the end of the first versus battle on the Non Bae channel. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know you definitely disagree with some of the stuff that has been said here, but if by some weird miracle you agree with some of the stuff that I've said, then leave a comment down below and let me know what you think and let me know if you agree. All right, once again, this is very subjective. This is only my opinion, some small little details and small little points that I pointed out here in terms of this topic, just to show you guys that, hey, this is a new style of show. This is a new style of an episode coming to the Non Bae channel. So look out for it every 5th episode in the season. And let me know what you think. And if you have any ideas, then once again, let me know in the comments below. Or if you're able to come into contact with me, please let me know. All right. Thank you once again for listening. I hope you've been entertained. And this is your favorite Non Bae signing out.